first ever CBA News. I'm your anchorman, Dan Kreka, and this is co-anchor Paul Charsky. And we're here to tell you about our shitty little show here. Every week we will be doing highlights and telling about our thoughts and feelings on the events that take place during the week. We will now be highlighting rounds 1 through 3 in all. So, Paul, if you'd like to start with the first round.
Well, the first round had a very interesting first round, wasn't it?
Yes.
The first pick in the 2009 CBA draft went to Dan Kreka, and he picked the big man, Eric Hardaway. The follow pick was my pick, and I went with Matt Vasindak. Would you like to go through the rest?
Brandon Perry picked Dan Smith. Pete Doggett picked Tom Capra. Colin Bremer picked Tyler Cuneo. Eric Charsky picked Patrick Callahan, Sex. Pat Griffin picked Balls, and Chris Kern picked John Chest, Quick Bread Scolari. We moved on to the second round, and Kern had his second pick in a row. He picked Eric Droopy Eyes Martin, which was also an odd pick. Pat Griffin picked his butt buddy Ross Cadman. Eric Charsky picked Ross Danzig, who should have went first round, but everyone was apparently on crack. Colin Bremer picked Paulie Gallagher, and everyone said, who the fuck's Paulie Gallagher? Pete Doggett picked Corey Spangenberg. Brandon Perry picked Philip Harry Chestel Preet. Paul picked Timothy Shea, and I picked Ross Fiore. Third round? Highlights?
I don't have a few.
Oh, okay. Third round, I picked Ryan Vass Hall. Paul Charsky picked Kevin Hick Stick Ekauskis. Brandon Perry picked Dr. Kazmersky. Pete Doggett picked Luke Albino Peterson. Colin Bremer picked Sal Conaboy. Eric Charsky picked Connor Cold H2O. Patrick Griffin picked Leo Bollock, and Chris Kern picked Carm Chest Powalczyk. And we'll be right back. And here's co-anchor Paul Charsky with highlights from the rest of the rounds. Paul?
Well, after round 5, Chris Trotta was picked. A late round for Trotta? Maybe. And Pete Doggett picked Colin Dietz, an interesting pick. Round 6 saw Kern pick Matt Mortel, along with Dan Kreka picking Casey Fitzpatrick. Round 7 featured Pete Doggett picking Ryan Roberto, and Colin Bremer picking Louis Serafini, and Griffin picked Dalton Coldwater. Round 8, Griffin picked Mark Stinkus Pinkus Dark Mavis Davis. Brandon Perry picked Matt Badamo, and Dan Kreka picked Gino Gagliardi. The 9th round saw John Brogan being picked along with Dan Pisachin. The 10th round was all over the place as Eric picked Warren Acker, Doggett picked Greg Barron, and Kreka rounded out the draft with Mr. Irrelevant, Justin Potomac.
And we'll be right back. And we're back with Paul's thoughts on the draft. Paul?
I thought you could say. First round shockers of Matt Vasindak. Second round, Danzig going. It was just a real shocker overall.
That's it.
That's all I got.
Alright, well, I thought the first round was really fucked up. I thought the second round was really fucked up. In fact, I thought the whole thing was fucked up, okay? Like, only the first few children picked were good, and besides that, there isn't really a team that has much of an upper hand here. Everyone's got at least 2 good kids on each team, except for this guy's. And besides that, I say we're going to have a pretty dead even year, except for Paul's team, and maybe Bremer's. And we'll be right back.
I'll do every player. My thoughts on the draft it was shocking. We had Matt Vasindak going to my team first round. But then you had people getting picked all around the place. Bremer went with Cuneo. Now Bremer's team is out there. He has Tyler Cuneo, Paul Gallagher, Sal and Rich Conaboy, Alan Roach, Adrian Benori. But listen to this. Tyler Woody, Louis Serafini, Colin Langan. My team's just ready to throw down. I got Tim, I got Justin Clark, I got Ronnie Geiger. We're ready to throw down. Now the Jack Officeers, Eric's team, they're pretty stacked. You have Pat Callahan, Ross Dansing, Connor Coldwater, Warren Acker, Sam Walker. But then you got James Colombo, might lose that flow there.
What the fuck was he thinking?
Then you have the Sexual Harassment Panda team, which is Perry's team. Perry's got some height with Smith and Phil. He's got this three-point shooter of Dan Kazmierski. But then you got Brian Malstead, Eric Galco, Fruhan, Matt Padamo. Then you got Griffin's team, the Underpants Gnomes. Of course he would pick Ross, but he was stupid enough to pick Nate Basilega first round, and he's not even going to play. Griff's team's also out there and picks like Mark Davis and Jordan Goldstein. Then you got Krekka's team, which looks pretty good to me. You got Hardaway. And that's pretty much it. I mean, look who this kid picked. Justin, Brogan, Gino, Casey. Whoa. And then you got Kern's team. Now Kern's team, okay. Scolari, Martin, Parm. That's all I see making a move on that team. Then Doggett's team. Forget Doggett. He takes everything too seriously.